Hi, my name is Debbie Lash and I'm your yoga teacher for today. Please subscribe if you haven't already and leave feedback at the end of the class or give me a thumbs up if you've got the time. Today's practice is focusing on opening the hips and lengthening the hamstrings. So with that in mind, let's get started. Sit up nice and tall. I'm sitting on a block. You could sit on a book or a pillow, even a blanket or a folded towel. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears and just take a moment to land on your mat and arrive. Let the investigation from the inside out begin. And just taking a moment to observe how you feel physically, mentally, emotionally, and energetically. Start to connect to the breath. Inhale through the nose. Open the mouth, exhale out. 2 more, just like this. Deepest breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Squeezing all the air out of the lower belly. Last cycle of breath here. Inhale through the nose. Keep the lips closed. Exhale through the nose, back of throat. Finding Ujjayi breath. Hands together at heart center. Bowing chin to chest. If you'd like to bring an intention or maybe even a dedication to the practice, even offering all your energy here to those or someone who needs it more than you today. And if you're not sure what to ask for or what intention, I always begin with asking that my body is open and my mind is clear. And you can add anything to that. Let's open the class with one chant of Om, deepest breath in. Om. Inhale, open the eyes. Gently lift the gaze. All right, yogis, I'm just going to come off the block and let's come and sit down, cross-seated position. And just look and see which leg is in front. Flex your feet. Make sure both feet are crossed at the shins. And already we're in Sukhasana, easy seat, but it's a hip opener. Inhale, lift both arms up. Exhale, forward fold and bow. And just land your hands wherever they land. Make sure your sit bones are pressing down. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, just tiptoe your fingers forward. Bowing chin to chest. Flex your feet. Take 3 cycles of breath here. Inhaling through the nose. Lips closed, exhale through the nose. If you're ready to drop into Ujjayi breath, this is the voice of our practice, a soft whisper, almost feels like a scratching in the back of the throat. And one more cycle of breath here. Inhale. Lips closed, exhale. Tiptoe both hands over to the right. And some of you are going to stand the left hand on the right hand, drop the palms down, and there's just this lovely gentle spinning of your left ribs to your right knee, right thigh. You're anchoring down through your left sit bone. Inhale, lengthen the heart away from the tailbone. Exhale, forward fold and bow. And just have a look at your feet. Make sure the feet are flexed and your feet are actively pressing down into the earth. One more cycle of breath. We're just breathing into the side body. Inhale. And exhale here. Tiptoe the hands back to center. And bring the hands back towards the body. Hands facing towards your sit bones. Now if this feels too intense, you can have your hands, your fingers turning out to the side of the mat. Feet on the floor. Now I like to lean back and I'm going to cross my right ankle over my left thigh. That's it. And just stay right here. Flex your right foot. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. And then press evenly through both hands as you lift your chest up and towards the ceiling. You can close the eyes. Just notice how this pose feels in the body. We're going to experience the same shape but standing on one leg, and we'll take this pose in single pigeon at the end of the class. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath wherever you are. Some of you might like to rotate the ankle both ways. Good. Last cycle of breath. Inhale here. Exhale here. Good. We're going to keep the leg where it is, and we're going to press down and now lift the hips up. Inhale. Reverse tabletop. Exhale, lower. 2 more. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift up, stay up. Just keep the chin towards the chest. That's it. And when we try the other side, we're just going to have the option to drop the head. Inhale here. And exhale, lower. Good. Change sides. So we're going to change the cross of the legs. So I have my left leg in front. This time my right leg's in front. Flex the feet. Make sure the legs are crossing at the shins. Inhale, both arms up. Lift up, look up. Exhale, forward, fold, and bow. 5 cycles of breath. Sometimes I need to walk my hands back to get the sit bones down, and then I actively press the sit bones down. Inhale, lift the chest away from the tailbone. Exhale, forward, fold, and bow. Chin to chest. There's an energy lock in the throat called Jarambandha. And just drawing gently the belly to the spine. There's an energy lock here called Uddiyana Bandha. And when you squeeze the muscle between the perineum, this is called Muli Bandha. And when we harness and squeeze all the energy locks at the same time, we harness the energy into the body. Tiptoe the hands over to the left. Good. Some of you are going to drop the heels of the hands down, stepping the right hand on the left, and there's that gentle spinning of the ribs to the left thigh. 3 cycles of breath. Just notice if your feet started to feel relaxed, flex them, and then actively press the sides of the feet down into the mat. Breathing and finding length in the side body. And exhale here. Inhale, tiptoe the hands back to center, and then walking your hands back towards the body. Fingers either facing towards your sit bones or turning out. Both feet on the floor, this time crossing the left ankle over the right thigh. And just flex the foot. Some of you are just going to rotate the ankle. But you want to make sure that the ankle is on the outside. So a nice way to do it is just when you rub the outside of your thigh that you hit your ankle bone. A lot of the time we've got the actual ankle resting on the thigh, but we want it all the way over. And then draw that left knee away from your left shoulders. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. So there's just a nice feeling of space on both sides of the neck. And 1 more cycle of breath wherever you are. Actively press down through all your fingers and knuckles and palms. And now we're going to lift the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Lift up, stay up. Inhale. Some of you are going to play with dropping the head. Exhale. So this is tapping into the thyroid gland. Press down through the grounded foot and hands to lift the hips and chest. 1 more cycle of breath here. Inhale. Lion's breath. Release the hips down. Good. Inhale, take the foot to the floor. And exhale, we're going to lower all the way down. So just bring your hands, imagine you're holding a beach ball. And inhale, lower down. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Only 3 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Now, if you need a little bit more support, hands on the back of the thighs. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Exhale, lift up. Last one. Good. Pause. Now, imagine you're offering your ball to your friend or to me. Swivel to the right. So now we're using the obliques. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Press your feet and big toes into the floor. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 2 more. Last one here. Good. And then swivel round to the left. Pause. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Good. 3 more. Movement to breath. Inhale, lower. Exhale, squeezing the breath out of the belly. And last one here. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. Lying all the way down, just slowly, vertebrae by vertebrae, picking the feet up. Both feet up, flex the feet. Hands in steeplechase, so forefinger thumb releases. And now lift the right shoulder up. Inhale, lower the left leg down. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Inhale, lower. Keep lifting that right shoulder. 2 more. Flex the feet. Squeeze the muscles to the bone. And other side. Swivel to the left. Lift the left shoulder. Inhale, lower right leg. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Good. 2 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Last one here. Thumbs can either be under the buttock flesh and you can lower the head to the floor. If this is already feeling a little intense, some of you want to keep the shoulders up, maybe reaching the hands forward. Point the toes, double leg lift. Inhale, lower. Flex the feet. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Flex. Exhale, lift. Good. Remember, you can put your head on the floor. You can take a break at any time. Only 5 more. You're doing so well, yogis. Exhale, lift. Make sure movement to breath. That's it. Point the toes. Flex the feet. Lift up. Good. And I think it's 2 more. So just, if you're counting, good work. Exhale, lift. Good. Hands underneath the shoulders. Feet on the floor. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up. Should be feeling a nice little compression in the belly. That's it. And 5 more. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. 3 more. Keep the elbows wide. 2 and 1. Happy baby. Bring the feet into the hands. So we're back working into the hips. This feels really good. And when you're ready, grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Now we're working the hamstrings. Open both legs, bringing the legs into V shape. Flex the feet, and actively you're trying to press your sit bones forward so your lower back connects to the mat. Any amount. That's it. Draw the belly into the spine. And some of you like to rock side to side here. That feels really good. Others, some of you just want to find stillness. So just whatever feels good in the practice today, choose that. Remember, you can skip poses, skip vinyasas. Take what you want, leave what you don't want. Good. Inhale, draw the feet together. And let's just pause here. Thumbs underneath the buttock flesh. 10 cycles of breath. Legs in the air like we just don't care. So this is a really nice restorative pose. It's an inversion. And we'll play with maybe a little headstand and a tripod headstand today, if that's in your practice. And remember, you can take it to the wall if you need that little bit more support. Otherwise, if you're happy to kick up in the middle of the room, then just choose wisely. 5 more cycles of breath. So the feet are above the heart space, so you're bringing the body into a place of rest and digest. And just finding a little quiet amongst the storm. Good. 1 more cycle of breath here. Hands on the back of the thighs. We're just going to start to rock and roll. Forwards and backwards. Backwards and forward. Just massaging the spine. Bringing a little playfulness into the practice. And then we're going to rock all the way forward. Cross the legs at the shins. Jump back into plank. Or you could step back. Good. Stay right here. Lift the back ribs up. Finding that whisper of cat pose here. We're just going to rock forwards and backwards and then pause. Good. Staying in plank pose, bring the right knee to the right elbow and then place the right foot back. Left knee to left elbow and then we're just going to move. You can go as fast or as slow as you want. And if this feels pretty challenging or it's too much, you can bring the knees to the floor and do it from tabletop position. But I know that most of you, or pretty much all of you, will be with me on this one. Let's go, 10 more. So feeling a nice amount of heat in the body. That's it. 5 more each side. So when I mean 10, I mean each side. That's it. 2 more each side. And last one. Good. Downward facing dog. Whew. Up and back. Have a look at your feet. Make sure they're hips distance. And just finding that little bit of stillness amongst the storm. Roll the inner thighs. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. Inhale, come high on the tippy toes. Bend the knees. Tiptoe the feet up towards your hands. Uttanasana, forward fold and bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Just stay right here. This is a really delicious hamstring opener. Some of you will want to grab your elbows. Actually, all of us. Let's all grab our elbows. Nod the head, yes. Just, it's not a vigorous action. It's subtle. It's really just feeling if you're holding tension in the neck and the shoulders. Maybe you just want to start to bend the knees here. So you're swaying the hips. Good. Change the cross of the hands so opposite hand to opposite elbow. And when we do this, it just taps into using the left and right side of the brain. Maybe you just want to rock forwards and backwards a little bit. What I see a lot in classes is people sitting in their heels and the toes are like not actively pressing into the floor. So just shift your weight forward so you can feel all 10 toes pressing down into the mat. Release the hands to the floor. Walk your feet as wide as the mat. Toes are turning out. Malasana yogi squat. Again, juicy hip opener. Hands at prayer. Some of you are going to stay here with hands in prayer. Some of you are going to take a half bind. So right hand out, left arm up, and then spin the top palm back and reach. Maybe a full bind. That's it. So just now gently moving into the shoulders. But notice how your feet are connected. Because we reach to the right side, a lot of the weight goes into the right foot. So just press evenly and shift that weight into the left foot as well. Release the bind. And other side. If you need to stand up and straighten the legs, if you're holding hands in prayer, then just you can stand up and down if that feels good. But just lifting the chest, opening the shoulders, and squeeze your buttocks in. That's it. And you'll feel an opening in the hip as you squeeze the buttocks in. Good. 1 more cycle of breath here. Inhale. And then exhale, hands at prayer. Inhale, we're going to stand all the way up. Breathe in. Exhale, lower down. This feels good. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Parallel the feet. Samastahi. Let's move, yogis. Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, take the prayer straight up. Forward fold and bow. Exhale. Inhale, half lift. Step back into plank. Shift the weight forward. Let's lower all the way down to our bellies. You can drop the knees here. Lower all the way down. Low cobra for 3. Drag the hands back. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Last one here. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cat pose. Exhale, child's pose. Good. Just a slight modification of Surya A. Inhale, cat. Lower down, chin, chest. Slide through, low cobra. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cat. Exhale, child. We've got one more. Inhale, tabletop, cat pose. Exhale, lower down, chin, chest. Slide through, low cobra. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cat. Exhale, tuck toes, downward facing dog. That's it. Find Ujjayi breath if you haven't already. And just notice when the breath falls away. Normally the mind has woken up and takes you into some dialogue, some kind of conversation. So we always want to keep coming back to the breath. This is what yoga is. Movement to breath. Inhale, high tippy toes, bend knees, 2 steps to the top. Ardha Uttanasana, half lift. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Press down through the feet. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. 2 more rounds. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Step back into plank. You can take low cobra, or maybe you're ready for upward facing dog. Stay for a breath. Lift the knees and thighs. Inhale. Well done. Exhale. Downward facing dog. Have a look at your fingers and your hands. Spread your fingers. Make sure your forefinger is facing forward and the other fingers are spinning out in a dial, and then really press down through the forefinger thumb. Inner thighs are rolling back, and just find delicious length in your back spine and your hamstrings. Inhale, come high on the tippy toes. Bend the knees, maybe a little float to the top. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press down through feet. Inhale, rise. Exhale, hands to heart. Both arms lift up, straight up. Meet me in downward facing dog. If you don't want to take the vinyasa, just go straight to down dog. Roll over toes. Up and back. Downward facing dog. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. Right knee, right elbow, glide forward. Pause. Inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, cross it to the to the left elbow. Last one, knee to nose round. Pause and hold. For 5, look at the thumbs. 4, kick the heel to the buttock. 3, lift the back ribs up. 2, look forward, step through. Drop the back knee down. Inhale, lift both arms up. Anjaneyasana, exhale here. Good. Lift up, look up. And we spin our pinky fingers into the midline, so it opens up across the shoulder blades. And then just create space both sides of the neck. Inhale here. Exhale, hands behind the back. Inhale, roll the shoulders, lift the chest. Breathe in. Exhale, sink into the front thigh. Squeezing your hips into the midline. Inhale here. Exhale. This is an option. Forward fold and bow. I'm going to walk my right foot to the right. And this is like a modified humble warrior. So we come from this pose, usually from warrior in the Surya B series. That's it. 2 more cycles of breath. Lift the shoulder heads up and away from the floor. And when you're ready, inhale, lift up. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Inside the right foot. Inhale, kick the left heel to the buttock. Windmill the arm back. Don't worry if you can't catch the foot, just let your body know where you're going. Maybe even got a strap or a towel here. You can hook it around the foot. Inhale here. Now roll your right shoulder back. Exhale here. Some of you are going to stay right here. This feels juicy. Kick the foot into the hand into the foot, or you can come down to your elbow or even a block. So I'm going to come down to the elbow and I'm going to drop my knee to the side and roll onto the pinky side of my right foot, on my pinky toe. And just drop the head here. That's it. Imagine your head under a waterfall, so you're just dropping back so you can lift the chest. That's it. How's the breath? Ujjayi breath, internal gaze. And inhale. Come back to center. Release the foot without slingshotting it back. Both hands to the floor. Hand either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toe under. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. Put a bend in the knee. Open up the hip. Circle the ankle. I like to come up onto my left fingertips here because it stops me dumping into the left wrist. That's it. So maybe you play with that. Maybe you won't. Inhale, straighten the leg. Exhale, right foot down. Inhale, float the left leg straight back. Breathe in. Left knee, left elbow, glide forward. Exhale. Shoulders beyond the wrists. Inhale, three-legged dog. Cross it over to the right elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Knee to nose round, hold for 5. Good, now lift your back ribs up. There's your cat pose. Kick the heel to the buttock so you can't see your foot. That's it, keep shifting the shoulders forward, belly in. Inhale, look forward, step it through. Right knee drops to the floor. Inhale, lift both arms up. Vinyasa. Exhale here. That's it. And if your shoulders are tight, maybe it's going to feel better to just move the hands slightly forward. So we can find the space on both sides of the neck. So you just play with it. Find your sweet spot. Inhale, lift up, look up. Exhale, both hands behind the back. Again, you could grab a strap here if your shoulders were tight. Roll the shoulders down. My hands are touching inside my right thigh. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, sink into the front thigh. Activate the back foot. Press down through the heel of the front foot. Sometimes I even lift my toes of the left foot. Inhale here. Exhale, round and round. Modified humble warrior. And gravity is your best friend here. The head is heavy. Crown of the head is heading towards the mat, the earth. And then the shoulder heads are lifting up and away from the floor. And one more cycle of breath. Inhale, lifting all the way up. Exhale, both hands inside the left foot. Pause. Again, if you're tight in the shoulders, great idea to have a block here. So you can put the block under the right hand. Kick the right heel to the buttock. Inhale, windmill the left hand to the right foot. Inhale here. Exhale here. So you could stay right here, or some of you might come down onto the elbow on a block. I'm just demonstrating. So we just take things in stages. If it's a real struggle to come onto the elbow, because it really is, put a block there and just gradually over time you can lower the block to your elbows resting. Remember, this is a practice of a lifetime. I'm finding a little effortless ease in this pose as we open the chest by dropping the head. And inhale, release the foot. Exhale, both hands to the floor. Good. Hands either side of the front foot. Tuck the back toe. Inhale, three-legged dog. Float the left leg straight back. Bend the knee, open up the hip, circle the ankle. Inhale, square the hips. Left foot down. Inhale, Forward into plank pose. Lift the back ribs. Chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Just lift those biceps up beside the ears as the triceps roll down. And then you find that whisper of cat pose in your upper back. Think of downward dog as an extension of cat pose. Inhale, high tippy toes. Bend knees. Step, walk or float. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold and bow. You ready for chair pose? Let's go. Bend the knees. I like to keep my hands on the floor. If you've worked with me in other videos here. And then we'll lift the toes so the weight is heavy in the heels. Inhale here. Exhale here. Good. Arms up. You can bring the hands forward. Just again, notice how the shoulders feel. Now draw your shins and your knees back. Lift the chest. Maybe lift the hands as the hips sink lower. Inhale, come high on your tippy toes. Exhale, lower down. Pause. You have two options here. You can take a version of Malasana. The feet stay together, knees wide, tiptoe hands forward, or Bakasana for my arm balance people. So I like to practice the arm balances in most of my sequences. The more we do them, the better we get. That's it. Kick the heels to the buttock. Try and straighten the arms. Lift the belly. There's that full cat pose in the upper back. And then both feet to the floor. Chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, standing all the way up. Samasthiti. Good. Step to the top of the mat. Utkatasana chair pose. Bend the knees, drop the hips. Forward fold and bow. Inhale, half lift. Plant the hands, step back. Vinyasa, meet me in downward facing dog. Ready for warrior one. Right foot forward. Try not to lift the leg up. Squeeze the right hip in. Inhale, lift. Exhale here. 2 more cycles of breath. Again, sweep the pinky fingers in towards the midline. Sharpen the back leg as you release into the front thigh and then hug the hips in. Both hips ideally are facing forward. Inhale here. Exhale, both hands behind the back. Roll the shoulders, lift the chest, breathe in, stand into the back foot. Inhale. Humble warrior. Exhale. That's it. Hug the right hip in. And when you're ready, release both hands to the floor. Lift the back heel. So we're in a runner's lunge, coming into lizard pose. So snuggle. So option here, drop the back knee down. Actually, let's come in this way and all do it together, and then you choose what you want and leave what you don't. So option 1, back knee down. Option 2, we're going for a bound lizard. So snuggle the shoulder under. Hands into the aeroplane, and then option to bring the hands. Again, you could grab a strap here. Some people find it easier to lift straight up from here. Some people might want to come from here. Even if you're not taking the bind, you can lift the back leg. That's it. Lift the chest and then kick the heel back. Squeeze that right hip in. 2 more cycles of breath wherever you are. Draw the belly in. One more cycle of breath, and release the hands. Drop the back knee. Hand either side of the front foot. Inhale, 3-legged dog, 3-legged plank. Exhale, Ardha Chaturanga, downward facing dog. Left foot forward, warrior one. Back heel down, both arms up. Breathe in. Exhale here. 3 cycles of breath. Good amount of heat in this pose. Sharpen the back leg by lifting. Press the heel into the floor and then lift your knee and your thigh. Both hands behind the back. Exhale. Roll the hands down. Lift the chest. Breathe in. Humble warrior. Exhale. So left shoulder inside the left knee. And I always walk my foot a little wider. So left foot walks over to the left side of the mat. And one more cycle of breath here. Inhale here, lift the chest. Both hands to the floor, lizard pose. Lift the back heel, drop the back knee. So we'll just come in the same way. Snuggle that left shoulder under the knee. Hands in aeroplane, so you can lift up from here. Just depends about the mobility in your shoulders here. Now squeeze the hips in. Lift the chest, kick through the back heel. Lift the chest away from that back foot. Belly drawing in. Single point of focus. Last cycle of breath. Hand either side or come out the same way. You can drop the knee here. Hand either side of the front foot. Lift the back knee again. Three-legged dog. The three-legged plank. Exhale, Ardha Chaturanga. Roll over the toes. Inhale, lift the knees and thighs. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good. Walk the hands back towards the feet. Padahastasana. Grab your big toes with your peace fingers. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, bend the elbows, drop the head, look all the way up between the thighs. Breathing into your back body, finding length and space. And just observe the hamstrings. They should really be starting to feel open, releasing any tension, gripping, and just actively pressing through your feet. Lift your knees and thighs up towards the hips. Good. Inhale, release the toes. Hands on the hips, squeeze the elbow heads in, and then inhale, rise. Beautiful work. Let's start in tree pose. So standing on your left foot, we're going to draw the right knee into the chest. Grab the hands around the shin and then inhale, lift. Some of you are going to stay here. You could even go beside a wall if your balance feels a little funky. And we're just going to play with our balance, knee to nose. Squeeze and hug the elbows in. That's it. And then coming into tree pose, Vrikshasana. Oopsie, how's my balance? Going to grab the ankle and bring your heel into the inside thigh. And I like to put my hands on my hips and make sure that both of them are facing forward. That's it. So both hips face forward. Hands at prayer. Some of you might like to keep the hands on the hips, hands at prayer. Some of you are going to float the prayer up. Inhale. Open the arms wide. Exhale. Good. Inhale, lift. Arms high. Exhale, open wide. Inhale, come back to lifting high. And then exhale, hands at heart. Good. Going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Figure of four. So this is the same shape we made right at the beginning of class. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, one-legged chair pose. Good. Squeeze the hips. Inhale, lift the chest. Make sure that right foot is flexed. Some of you are staying right here. It'd be a great idea to have blocks, and you can just play with bringing your hands towards the block. Some of you will be able to bring the hands all the way to the floor. You've really got to bend the knee. And then you hook your right big toe around your left bicep. And you might just play with the arm balance, kicking the heel to the buttock. And some of you might be able to lift that back leg into flying pigeon. My shoulder's a little sore at the moment, so I'm not even going to attempt it because I can really feel it. So I'm just going to honor that voice telling me not to do it. And when you're ready, inhale, lift all the way up. Cross your right leg all the way over. Garudasana. Both arms forward. Good. Cross your left arm over the right. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. This is becoming very intense now. Some of you are going to stay upright. Some of you are going to come with me. Inhale, lift the back ribs. Exhale, forward, fold and bow. That's it. You might want to place your big toe on the floor as a kickstand. That's it. Find that single point of focus. Lift the back ribs up. And inhale here. Exhale, standing all the way up. And release. Ooh, I really felt that in my left ankle and shin. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, forward fold and bow. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, pick up your feet, slide your hands underneath the feet for Parahastasana. Inhale, lift the chest. So if your hamstrings are still feeling a bit sticky and tight, generous bend in the knees feels delicious. Drop the head. So feel the neck lengthen. And then when you want to, only if you want to, start to lift the knees and the thighs up. Start to breathe some love and light and space into the back body. Belly drawing in. So let's play with the bandhas. Chin, chest, belly, spine. Squeezing Murli Bandha, that muscle between the perineum. You know where we're going. We're going to step off the hands and rolling all the way up, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll the shoulders down. Standing on your right foot. Hug the right hip in. Inhale, left knee up. Make sure the foot doesn't turn out to the side. Some of you are just standing upright. Some of you are just going to start to play with your balance. Knee to nose. There we go. One more cycle of breath. Inhale, lift. Tree pose. Vrikshasana. That's it. You really got to work the outer hip. Inside thigh squeezing to the heel of your left foot. Good. A little bend into the knee really helps plug the the right big toe into the floor. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, open it wide. So the arms are an option. You can just stay with the hands in prayer. And if you're falling all over the place, just be kind with your thoughts and just come into the pose nice and slowly. Just start again. Exhale, hands to heart. Left ankle over right thigh. Good. Bend the knee. One-legged Utkatasana. Ekapada Utkatasana. Good. Some of us are taking the hands to the floor. Hooking the big toe around the bicep. And again, I'm only going to kick the heel to the buttock. But if you've got flying pigeon in your practice today, go for it. It's just straightening that right leg all the way back. Heel to the floor. Walking your hands all the way back. Inhale, lift. Slide the left leg all the way over the right. Maybe that toe on the floor feels like a really good idea. Otherwise, find the bind. Right arm over left. Inhale, lift. Exhale, forward, fold and bow. Squeeze and hug the hips in as you lift the back ribs up. Good. 2 more cycles of breath. And last one here. Inhale, float the arms up. Exhale, release. Both arms up, breathe in. Vinyasa to flush it through, or take child's pose, or meet me in downward facing dog. You choose what feels good for your body right now. That's it, downward facing dog. Inhale, float the right leg straight back. Knee to nose, glide forward. and step it through. Good, we're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lift the chest. Squeeze the right hip in. Straighten the front foot, pyramid pose. Exhale, round. I like to float the front toes up, but that's an option. Inhale, bend the knee, lift the chest. Exhale, round. Inhale, bend the knee, lift the chest. Exhale, round and round. Stay here. 3 cycles of breath. Squeeze the hips in. There's that lovely feeling of cat pose in the upper back. And then tuck chin to chest, belly, spine. Squeezing Muli Bandha. I'm just going to spin myself around so you don't have my back to you in the next pose. Good. Inhale, bend the front knee, Skandasana. So turn the right toes to the top corner of the mat, hands at prayer. So I'm not mirroring you in this pose, because otherwise it's going to have to go to the other side. So I didn't want to confuse anyone. So you're bending into the right knee. And inhale, turn to the top of the mat. Exhale, step back into plank pose. Vashisthasana, right hand in, drop the heels. Good, inhale, lift up. So option 1 is to stay here. Option 2, you're going to draw the knee to the chest, grab the ankle, and you've got a tree pose right here. Inhale, top arm up. Get the big toe of your right foot into the floor. Option, arm up and over. 5 cycles of breath. Strengthening the side waist, lifting that bottom hip. So strong, yogis. You're looking great. And inhale, top arm up. You can keep the leg in tree pose or step it back. Vinyasa. Downward facing dog. Good, other side. So again, I'm just going to spin around. Inhale, float the left leg back. Exhale, step it through. Good. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, pyramid pose, round and round. I'm lifting the toes of the front foot. Inhale, lift. You can drop the knee here if that feels better. Exhale, round. Bend the knee, inhale, lift. Exhale, round. Hold for 3 cycles of breath here. Squeeze the outer hips in. And bend the front knee, Skandasana, to the left hip. Dropping the sit bone down. Bend the left knee and flex your right foot. That's it. So good. Lift the chest. The feeling of you want to collapse and round. Don't do it. And 1 more cycle of breath here. Inhale here. And exhale here. We're going to bring both hands to the floor, straighten the legs. Lifting up into Pasarita Padottanasana. We've got the option for a tripod headstand. Otherwise, if you don't feel like going upside down today for whatever reason, hands shoulder distance. Walk the hands back and you're just going to come into that lovely forward fold. So really nice hip and hamstring release here. Some of you are bringing the head to the floor. Squeeze the elbows in and we're lifting up. Stay for 5 cycles of breath. You can play with different things in the legs if you wanted to take Garudasana again. Roll the inner thighs. Sharpen the legs by squeezing the muscles to the bone. Start to split the legs, flex the feet, bringing your feet to the mat. Inhale, lift. Exhale here. Good. Step back to the top of the mat. Vinyasa or skip, you choose. Roll over toes, up and back. Downward facing dog. Good. Drop the knees to the floor. And hips to the side, and come and lie all the way down on your back. Ready for our bridge pose. So again, moving, we're just going to release the hips, hamstrings, but also working the shoulders, strengthening the arms. Good. Robot arms. Press the back of the arms and your elbows into the floor. Feet are hips distance. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale here. So you can stay with robot arms. Option 1, you can grab the edges of the mat or roll the shoulders under. Good. Some of you are staying right here. Some of you might be looking for a bit more juice, and you're just going to cross that right ankle over the left thigh, just as we did right at the beginning of class. And swap sides. 2 more cycles of breath. Stay for 3 cycles on each side. And lower all the way down. Option to take bridge pose again. You could take a restorative back bend by putting a block or a blanket or a pillow underneath the hips. Otherwise, for my Vinyasa bunnies, and even if you haven't got to doing the full expression of this pose, just come with me and see how far you can go, because this is how we see when we start to make progress. So flex the hands like handstand, bend the elbows, fingers facing towards the feet. And this already is a lot. It's a lot of work in the shoulders. So maybe you stop here, or maybe you're just going to stay here. Squeeze the elbows energetically like you would want them to touch. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale here. Inhale, come to the crown of the head. I like to reset the hands, squeeze the elbows in. Inhale, lift up. 3 to 5 cycles of breath. Some of you might want to play with lifting 1 foot off the floor. Maybe straightening the legs. Those hamstrings should be nice and open. But if you do one side, you got to do the other. And chin to chest, lowering all the way down. Whew, how did that go? Let's take a twist of your choice. Actually, not of your choice. I'm going to tell you what to do. Cross the right leg over the left, because it's going to bend, it's going to feed into my next pose. Shuffle the hips to the right. Inhale. Exhale here. Good. Inhale, knees to chest. Exhale, knees to the left. Inhale, you're spinning those right ribs back to the right. And maybe you're going to turn the head and look to the right elbow or the right thumb. But just close your eyes and receive the pose. And the twists just have so many benefits. They're really squeezing all your abdominal muscles, your intestines, just creating space and releasing stagnant energy. And we hold lots of emotions in the belly. And inhale, come back to center. Exhale here. We're going to keep the legs crossed. Inhale, lift up. Some of you are just going to grab the knees, or actually not the knees, the shins. This is called shoestring pose. Some of you can grab the outside edges of your feet, and then you're going to lie all the way back. Okay, head down. Now, if you've got a block or a blanket and your head's really straining to get down, you can put a block. This feels really good. And then actively trying to get the lower back onto the floor. Squeeze your thighs together. Trying to plug the shoulders down. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. And other side, release. Both feet to the floor. Left leg over, shuffle hips left. Inhale, knees chest. Exhale, both knees over to the right. Inhale, looking to the left. If your arm can come into T shape, wonderful. But if the shoulders are tight, and if your shoulder's lifting off the ground, just bend the elbow and just bringing it down gently. Don't worry if the shoulders don't touch. Again, just a work in progress. But these are like the little small nuances that we see over time. And 2 more cycles of breath here. And inhale, come back to center. And exhale here. Inhale, lift the legs back up. Square the hips. And now we're going to bring the knees into the chest. Grab the outside edges of your feet. Lower your head back down. My family are trying to creep in and not make a noise. The joys. That's it. And just stay here. Oh, there's a lot of noise. Say hi, Audrey. Okay. Oh, wonderful. Okay. All right. Okay. I'm just making a YouTube video. So just show me in a minute. I'm nearly done. We're nearly there, everyone. And so good. Inhale. Lift the head. Release. Exhale here. Just rocking yourself forwards and backwards. Last pose. Single pigeon. So you can rock forward, jump back, vinyasa, or you can just roll forward and step back into plank. We're going to bring the right knee to the right wrist and then swing the foot across towards the left wrist. Inhale, lift up. And exhale here. Come down onto the elbows. You can put a block underneath the forehead. But we're actively drawing the right hip back, pressing the left hip down. And I like to stack my hands, my fists, and just rest my forehead down. And take your mind's eye into your left foot and then spread the toes. Press the top of the foot down. The belly's drawing in. Inhaling here. Exhaling here. I guess having children is a bit like having a dog. You don't know, they're quite unpredictable. And let's just change sides. Oh, that's Audrey. And left foot, left wrist. Left knee, left wrist. Inhale, lift. Wow. Lift the chest. Exhale, come down. Yeah, sometimes you just have to go with it. Keep pressing the right hip down, firm the left hip in. Inhaling, lifting up. We're just going to roll onto that left hip, swing both legs out in front. And when you're ready, lowering all the way back down. Maybe a happy baby. Final pose. So just take what you need. Maybe legs into V shape will just feel like the perfect ending. 5 cycles of breath. Lengthen the lower back. So you really want to find that connection. Lengthening the sit bones forward. Flex your feet. And if your hands, if your peace fingers can't hook your big toes, then just grab the back of the thighs. And you can even play here, rotating the ankles. Inhale, draw the inner ankles together. Bend the knees. Give yourself a nice hug and a squeeze it all in. Inhale here. And coming all the way into Shavasana. Exhale. Feet as wide as the mat. Just gently roll the shoulders under so there's just that subtle lift in your heart space. And fully surrender to this moment. Please feel free to stay in Shavasana if that's what your body needs today. Otherwise, I'm going to bring you up and close out the class. So start wriggling fingers and toes. Subtle movement. Inhale, arms up and over the head. Breathe in. Take a full body stretch. Open mouth, exhale. One more, just like this. Deepest breath in. Draw the knees into the chest. Exhale, round. Lift the knee to the nose. Rolling to your right side. Just make a pillow for the forehead and pause for a moment. And when you're ready, press down through the hands, bringing yourself up to a cross-seated position. Just sitting up nice and tall, palms facing towards the ceiling, so you're in a position of receiving. And let's close and seal the class in. Hands at heart center, chin to chest. And let's close with one chant of Om, 3 Shantis, one more Om. Deepest breath in. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om. Prayer to third eye. Humbly bow, you're amazing. Namaste. Well done, yogis. Be sure to leave some feedback, give me a thumbs up. Thanks for sharing your practice with me, and I hope to see you again here. Namaste.